Thank you very much, Jim, and ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in thanking the Gateway Chamber of Commerce and Jim for all that they do for this part of New Jersey. I run for re-election based upon my record of service in the Congress over the last 10 years, and I run for re-election based upon what I have done to make sure that mercury has been removed from Hillsborough, toxic waste from Bridgewater, funding critically important to this part of the district, the Rahway River Study with the Army Corps of Engineers, bringing back to the district funding for a healthcare center in Dover for an underserved population, aid for fire districts across this great district. But more important than that, I run based upon my service of accomplishment on the House Energy and Commerce Committee, the oldest committee in the House, first having been established in 1795, and arguably the most important committee in the House. And regarding issues that have come before us, in the last Congress, we passed the 21st Century Cures Act, the most important legislation passed in that Congress that will bring new medicines to market based upon the innovation of the American people, critical new funding for the NIH, the National Institutes of Health, dramatic new funding for cancer research, for Alzheimer's research. And then in this Congress, passage of renewal of CHIP legislation that ensures health care for 9 million children in this country coming out of our committee. And then perhaps most important of all, legislation regarding the opiate crisis in the United States, the most significant public health crisis of our generation. A package of bills came out of our committee, passed overwhelmingly in a bipartisan fashion on the floor of the House, went to the Senate. That package has now passed the Senate. There are some differences. They will be resolved, and I hope this will reach the White House by Thanksgiving. My component part was the bill related to the opioid crisis and infectious diseases, particularly HIV. I sponsored that bill. My co-sponsor was Congressman Joe Kennedy of Massachusetts. We worked together. It was included in the larger whole. And this brings me to my major point that the new House of Representatives will require greater bipartisan cooperation, and I've not liked the one-party rule of both the Democrats and the Republicans. And in the new Congress, we will have the opportunity through the Problem Solvers Caucus, the sensible center, to make sure that we move forward. And that is the best way, regardless of which party controls the new House of Representatives. And I also run on the fact that I have been a lifelong resident of this congressional district, and I know it like the back of my hand. And I am confident that moving forward in an optimistic way, we can tackle the great issues confronting the American nation. Thank you very much.
Okay, the first question, Mr. Lance, is going to go to you.